Another trade in the NBA this week. We had James Harden, all of the drama in the offseason, calling Daryl Morey a fucking liar, just to quote him. Sorry, kids at home, but that's just how James Harden said it. He went in a weird tour in China, dissing the Philadelphia Sixers, and then you have Joel Embiid like, oh, who says the Boston Celtics and the Milwaukee Bucks passed us by getting Drew Holiday, Porzingis, and then on the other side getting Damian Lillard, and now you lose James Harden, who won the first game by himself versus the Boston Celtics. And then the other game you won versus the Boston Celtics, James Harden also went off and got 46 points and still showed that he can ball out in the playoffs. And then they go out there, trade him to the Clippers. The Clippers still keep Russell Westbrook, still keep Kawhi Leonard, still keep Paul George, and now still have James Harden. And it's at a point now where if Kawhi goes down, James Harden can still fill up the stat sheet. He proved he could do it in the playoffs last year. He's not going to play defense. There's going to be games where he doesn't show up, but the Clippers were a little bit friskier than they should have been in the playoffs. And if Kawhi is healthy with James Harden, who is a fine facilitator, he's a great point guard, and then Russell Westbrook played his butt off on defense in the playoffs last year, we could get Paul George to show up. This is a team that is going to be a tough out in the first or second round of the playoffs. Do I think it makes the Clippers a championship contender? No, because they're just one of those teams. It's like the LA Chargers that I'm not going to really believe it till I see it. But what I do think is 76ers definitely got a lot worse. And I know some people say James Harden is like addition by subtraction, but no, he's not. Tyrese Maxey, I'm sorry, Philadelphia 76ers fans, he's not a 2. I'm a Celtics fan, and I don't believe that Jaylen Brown is a legitimate 2 on a championship team. And if Jaylen Brown isn't, Tyrese Maxey definitely isn't, because he can't play defense. All he can do is come in there and score. He's kind of like if you elevated CJ McCollum's overall stats just a little bit.
Yeah, and this is the package there. The Sixers get Marquise Morris, Nicholas Batum, Robert Covington, KJ Martin, and then they get a first-round pick, 2 seconds, and a pick swap. The Clippers get not only James Harden, but also PJ Tucker. And I think that that's another thing where PJ Tucker is a really nice role player for a championship team.
Yeah.
I think that he plays hard. He's a good locker room presence. So the Clippers definitely won this trade. And, you know, they had the leverage, and the Clippers really didn't really have much of a choice. They could have kind of pulled to Portland and traded him somewhere else, but this is the best they could get. And the Sixers take a serious step back at this point. Yeah, they have a little bit of a better bench now, but at this point, it's going to be Embiid kind of carrying the load for him, and then Tyrese Maxey doing the best he can. But this team got significantly worse. They went from a second-round team to, I think, a first-round team at this point. So they'll still be in the mix. They'll still be in the playoffs. But for the Sixers, like, this is a massive loss for them. I know that James Harden was a bit of a locker room distraction for them, but
he still dropped 46 points in a playoff game and won a game.
James Harden he's still got a little bit left in the tank, and he can still score. He can still facilitate, and them getting a couple of role players and a pick down the road, like, I just think that they kind of fumbled a little bit there.
And do you think this is when Embiid is like, because Embiid has lost Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, and now James Harden.